Hello there and welcome to Red Gaming Tech for yet more of your daily gaming news and myself, Amata. Today is still the 8th of November and this time I'm bringing you some news from Total War Rome 2 and the SteamOS, as Rome 2 has now been officially confirmed for release on the Linux-based operating system. Now, over on the Steam Universe community site, Creative Assembly's brand manager, who goes by the name of Rob Bartholomew, said, quote, "At Creative Assembly, we want our customers to be able to play on as many platforms and as many locations as possible. So today, we are announcing future support for both SteamOS and the Steam controller. We've always wanted the Total War franchise to be enjoyed by living room gamers, but the limitations of traditional hardware made our style of gameplay impossible. Last month, when Valve invited us to test out the new Steam controller and unveiled their plans for SteamOS, we were impressed. We believe it will provide us with the control fidelity and platform we need to make a living room experience for Rome 2 that could be a more compelling experience than playing with keyboard and mouse. Rome 2 will be launching on Linux early next year with full Steam controller and big picture support to be added as soon as Valve gets us a controller dev kit." So this is rather interesting news, to say the least. I personally think that it being on SteamOS and having the Linux support can only be a good thing, and of course we'll get the game out to many people and may even open it for Steam machine use, of course, as you might imagine, but of course we'll give you the chance to still enjoy the game on Linux if you perhaps want to switch over to the SteamOS. The only thing that is really intriguing to me though is the idea that this will actually have Steam controller support. Now, I know the Steam controller is rather unusual in terms of the setup that it has, and it has this sort of mouse trackpads and it has these little programmable touchpads on the front and things like that. I still kind of struggle in my mind to think, well, how can an RTS like Rome 2 fit itself on a controller? Because even though the Steam controller has more functions available and more usability available than traditional controllers from the Xbox or PlayStation or what have you, it's still limited in comparison to a full keyboard. Of course, you can't have a controller that has the same capability as a keyboard, even with the Steam controller, which has many, many more functions than the traditional controller. As I said previously, I still kind of trying to picture it working in my head, and I can't really bend my mind around the idea of playing an RTS on a controller. Now, obviously, Creative Assembly think that they could do it, having had their hands on the device and tested and played with it a little bit. Of course, I haven't done so I can't really comment. And of course, they know what they're doing. They have been making Total War games for quite some time. So obviously they're confident that they can do it. I'm just trying to picture how that's going to work, and to be honest, I can't really do it, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I think that's going to be one of the more interesting and testing applications of the Steam controller. If they can make an RTS work on the SteamOS with the Steam controller, you could have it on the Steam machines and effectively have a console version of Total War Rome 2, which is not something you would ever thought you'd ever say or hear or even think about. So it's just such a weird idea. But it'd be interesting to see how well it actually translates to that kind of environment. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.